PR Connections Radio presents.
Welcome to Vegas Hockey Hub here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. And on this edition of Vegas Hockey Hub Recap, where we break down everything involving your Vegas Golden Knights, we're going to be talking about the most recent matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, this happened at T-Mobile Arena, and being at T-Mobile Arena, I was at the game live. What an incredible spectacle it was. And we're going to break down all the action and everything that we saw live here on Vegas Hockey Hub. Now, go to www.prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media, and check out all the amazing content we have on the network. We have about a dozen shows on the platform, including Vegas Hockey Hub. So go to the website and subscribe and check out all the amazing content on here. Also, if you want to support our show, we are on all social media platforms. We have a YouTube channel where we try to upload content daily, Monday to Friday. We have a Facebook where we try to interact and engage with all of our audience around the world. We have our Instagram, our Twitter, and our TikTok, where we upload videos from all of the hockey events that we go to live, practices, and interviews that we do here on Vegas Hockey Hub. And if you want to follow your host, I'm also on all major platforms as well. And my social media handle is at IANJRACHIELE. Now, getting into this matchup between Colorado and Vegas, let's start out with the most interesting aspect of this game, a part that a lot of people are watching and tuning in for, and that was the cartoon game. So Colorado and Vegas, they were the collaboration part on TNT where they turned it into a cartoon aspect of it. You saw these kids kind of animated hockey game with TNT. Amazing spectacle. I actually got to see a little bit of footage of it when we were in intermission. And I will admit that if you were watching that on TNT, you would get a little kick out of it. It was similar to how beginning of the year, you had the game earlier in the NHL that was on Disney Channel, and they had the animation department have the game being played on Disney. So yeah, for TNT, round of applause. Bravo to you on the cartoon game. And you know what? If we gain fans from it as an NHL community, amazing. And if you found it awesome that they were able to turn this into an animated game, hey, I'm there with you. I've always found animation a really cool aspect of TV and film. So yeah, I found this to be really cool, the fact that they turned the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche game into a animated spectacle. Really cool, real classy. I respect what they did there. And yeah, maybe we'll see more of it next season. We don't know, but it's a cool concept, and hopefully they continue to do it into the future, similar to how on the NFL, they have the Nickelodeon, they had the SpongeBob Super Bowl recording a few months ago. Now, getting into your pre-game notes for this game between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche, there was no roster change in between the Colorado game and the Minnesota game. However, there was a lineup situation where you actually have where the lineups are involved. There is an interesting switch. So, in the lineup, where you had Pavel Dorofeyev, Chandler Stevenson, and Tomas Hertl, they flipped Dorofeyev and they flipped Stevenson. So you're going to have a situation where on the first line, you have Jack Eichel, Ivan Barbashev, Jonathan Marchessault. Line 2 will be Pavel Dorofeyev, then Chandler Stevenson, and Tomas Hertl. So it's a small change in the lineup, but still, it is a beneficial one to the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's also talk about the fact that you have Brett Howden, Anthony Mantha, and William Karlsson on line 3. And then on the 4th forward line, Michael Amadio not in the lineup, Paul Cotter in that spot. So Nick Waugh in the center, Paul Cotter on the left, and Keegan Kolazar on the right. Defensive pairings, Nick Hague and Noah Hanifin, they are teamed up together for what it feels like the 10th game in a row. Shea Theodore and Braden McNabb on defensive pairing 2, and then Zach Whitecloud and Ben Hutton on defensive pairing 3. So once again, Alex Pietrangelo still not in the lineup. He is not going to be appearing for the Golden Knights. We don't know when we're going to speculate. We have no idea when this is going to happen. However, what we will say with the Vegas Golden Knights is that because there was no roster changes, there was nobody sent up, nobody sent down, Alex Pietrangelo still not in the lineup. Brennan Bryson, he is down in the AHL. He's going to be in Henderson. So it will be interesting to see what happens if Alex Pietrangelo is back in the lineup. Will Whitecloud be a healthy scratch? Will Hutton be a healthy scratch? Because the way we're looking at it right now, Hanifin, Hague, McNabb, and Theodore are your 4 safe picks on defense. McNabb and Theodore, you're not going to break those up. Hague and Hanifin have had amazing chemistry over the last month and a half. So if Alex Pietrangelo does indeed eventually get back into the lineup, it will be interesting to see if Whitecloud or Hutton is replaced and who's going to be swapped out there. Kind of similar to like the forward situation. You know, we saw with Tomas Hertl that when he got put in the lineup, they had to move some stuff around, right? You had to swap some guys in and out. We've seen Brett Howden be in and out of the lineup over the last couple of weeks. When Jonas Roundbeer has been in the Vegas Golden Knights organization, we have seen him being brought up and brought down. Jonas Roundbeer has been, and Brendan Bryson have both been guys that have been sent up and sent down. Now, when Mark Stone is in the starting lineup, it will be interesting to see who does get taken out of that spot. Brett Howden could be that guy. I've seen people say that. I wouldn't want it to be Pavel Dorofeyev, considering how good he has been and how much progression he has had. But understanding he's a young guy, it could be doable there. So with Mark Stone being in practice and skating with the organization, it'll be interesting to see who does get taken out of that lineup there. And in net for the Vegas Golden Knights will be Adin Hill. So Hillsy, he will be in between the pipes for the Vegas Golden Knights against the Colorado Avalanche. And, Adin Hill, he has had his injury concerns. We're all aware of that. We all understand that when Adin Hill is in the net and he is fully healthy, he is a top 10 caliber goaltender in the NHL. And that's really what you're looking for. I mean, you also got to remember when it comes to Adin Hill, this is somebody who he's really fighting to stay as the starting goaltender. We've seen the 1A, 1B situation that Adin Hill has been a part of ever since being with the Golden Knights organization. We have seen this over the last couple of months. So Adin Hill being in net for the Golden Knights, that is going to be your starting lineup there. Now, getting into the game at T-Mobile Arena, wearing my lucky green shirt. That's what I try to bring to T-Mobile Arena, sometimes to kind of bring a good luck charm to the Vegas Golden Knights. I wear this bright green shirt that looks like a jersey. And by the way, I appreciate the 2 people who reached out to me and helped me get the tickets, by the way, for the Colorado Avalanche game. Thank you for that, by the way. Now, getting into the first period for the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche game, and this really did not have a lot of interesting intrigue in the first couple of minutes of the game. There was some skating around. Jack Eichel, he had a close shot that just went wide. However, with 7 minutes in the first period, there would be what I call a Mickey Mouse goal as Ross Colton, with his 17th goal, him being assisted by Cale Makar and Miles Wood, and the Colorado Avalanche would be up 1-0 on the Vegas Golden Knights a couple of minutes into the first period. And what I mean by a Mickey Mouse goal is that this is just a terrible, kind of a trash play when it comes to the defense, to Aiden Hill, the positioning. It just wasn't a pretty situation for the Vegas Golden Knights. So when it comes to this goal right here, I just look at it as kind of a wash. Like, you know what? This goal happened. Colorado got on the board first. Now the Vegas Golden Knights have to regroup, and they have to recuperate them being down 1-0 against Colorado at the half of the first period. However, for the Vegas Golden Knights, Cale Makar, don't forget about that name because he would pop up in a few minutes. As after Cale Makar gets his first point of the game with an assist on the Ross Colton goal, a few minutes later at the halfway point of the first period, Cale Makar, 21st goal, assisted by Arturi Lehkonen and Nathan MacKinnon. So the Colorado Avalanche would be up 2-0 on your Vegas Golden Knights. You felt the air kind of being depleted at T-Mobile Arena. It felt like, this is going to be a long night for everybody in attendance, for all the Golden Knights fans at T-Mobile Arena. The energy felt flat to begin the game. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't energetic, but here's what I'm going to point out to you is when it comes to the Golden Knights, it seemed like they were just sluggish out of the gate. Kind of similar to the beginning of the year when the Vegas Golden Knights first 15, 20 games of the season, they would have these really slow first 20 minutes, and then they would gradually build momentum in the remaining 40 minutes. That's really what this game felt like. So, Cale Makar scoring this goal, and then the final action that happened in the first period with 10 seconds left in the period, Pavel Dorofeyev would get a hooking penalty. It would go to the penalty box. So fast forward to the beginning of the second period, Vegas Golden Knights would kill off this penalty. So they would start out 1-for-1 on the penalty kill. Good job by them. And the Vegas Golden Knights would then get on the power play after a tripping penalty as William Karlsson would get tripped. The Colorado Avalanche, they would go to the penalty box. And even though there was a really good shot by Jonathan Marchessault, the Vegas Golden Knights would not take advantage. It would remain scoreless on the board after that penalty would be killed off by Colorado. And halfway into the second period, there would be an interesting situation as Josh Manson would shoot the puck over the glass. He would get a delay of game penalty. However, in that same moment, your Vegas Golden Knights, Brett Howden, would get called for holding. So Brett Howden would go to the box for holding, and Josh Manson would go to the box for delay of game. Completely not the same situation. They were not corresponding of each other, but still, Brett Howden, he would go to the box for 2 minutes. Josh Manson would go to the box for 2 minutes between Vegas and Colorado. And nobody would take advantage here, which is kind of weird. The fact that you have a 4-on-4 situation, nobody on Vegas' side would take advantage. There was a shot by Ivan Barbashev that just did not clear, hit the post, and was not able to get in the back of the net. However, with about 7 minutes left in the second period, there would be a goal scored for Colorado as one of their core members, and Mikko Rantanen, 41st goal, assisted by Josh Manson. So Josh Manson, who went to the penalty box earlier in the period, would help out Mikko Rantanen with this goal. It would make it a 3-0 situation for Colorado. And after the second period, 40 minutes of playing, Vegas Golden Knights have 0 goals on the board. And really, Vegas felt like they were kind of just stuck in neutral in the first 40 minutes of the game. Very lethargic is what I would call the offense. So against Colorado, Vegas, I understand that at this point, in terms of on paper, in terms of, they've already, clinched the spot. They already know where certain people are going to be. We understand that they are not going to play as hard as they were for the last couple of weeks because they've been battling for spots, right? But when it comes to your Vegas Golden Knights, after the second period and being down by 3 goals, somebody had to ignite that spark, right? Somebody had to create an opportunity for the Vegas Golden Knights. And 2 minutes into the third period, your player of the game would light it for the Vegas Golden Knights as Ivan Barbashev, 19th goal, assisted by Keegan Kolazar and Noah Hanifin. So just like that, after being scoreless for nearly 42 plus minutes, the Vegas Golden Knights would get on the board. Ivan Barbashev, he would score and open up the lane for the Vegas Golden Knights to capitalize on opportunities. Now, what followed next was very, very intriguing for the Vegas Golden Knights organization, is that Josh Manson would get his second penalty of the game. He would get an interference penalty, and that would put your Vegas Golden Knights on the NV Energy power play. And if there's somebody you're going to trust to put the puck in the back of the net, why not call upon Wild Bill? As William Karlsson, 29th goal, assisted by Shea Theodore and Pavel Dorofeyev. And just like that, on the power play, William Karlsson 1 goal away from the 30-goal mark. Pavel Dorofeyev, who had a penalty earlier in the game with the assist, and then Shea Theodore doing what he does best, which is passing the puck around and creating opportunities. And, you know, you can really appreciate what was going on here in Vegas because the energy was kicking up. You saw what they were doing. And William Karlsson's name would pop up again as 4 minutes left in the third period. William Karlsson would get to the 30-goal mark as his second goal of the game would tie it up for Vegas. 30th goal for William Karlsson, assisted by defenseman Zach Whitecloud and Brett Howden, and it would tie the game up for Vegas with about 4 minutes left in the game. Now, for William Karlsson, I have been a harsh critic of you for the last couple of years. I'm not going to sit here and say that I was right or wrong, but here's what I will acknowledge. Congratulations on William Karlsson on getting back to the 30-goal mark. I don't think that you're ever going to get to the 43-goal mark that you did in season 1, but congratulations to getting back to 30 goals. That's a round of applause for William Karlsson. Eichel's gotten there, Karlsson's there, Marchessault's there. Now, getting into overtime, an interesting development would happen. As for the third time in this game, Josh Manson would go to the penalty box, as Josh Manson would have a high sticking penalty against Jack Eichel. And because of that, on the overtime possession, the Vegas Golden Knights would have a man advantage in overtime. And thanks to Jack Eichel, he would actually open up the lanes and create an opportunity for the Vegas Golden Knights as Tomas Hertl with his 17th goal. It would be a 4-3 Golden Knights win at T-Mobile Arena. So to go from being down 3-0 over Colorado to then tying it up in regulation, thanks to William Karlsson, now you have your 17th goal of the season by Tomas Hertl. And just like that, in overtime, the Vegas Golden Knights pick up the victory and win against Colorado. And what a spectacle it was, and what an amazing performance by the Vegas Golden Knights. A team that has been known for blowing leads over the last month finally blew a lead for Colorado and overcame a 3-0 deficit. And getting into all of that, let's just talk about, Vegas Golden Knights. Everybody came home happy. I was on the bus driving back on the 607, and you had the Vegas Golden Knights. People were chanting, "Go Knights, go." You had people that I was talking to on the bus about what the playoff implications would be. And overall, it was a happy atmosphere on the ride home. Now, for the Vegas Golden Knights, 44, 28, and 8 on the season. And you have 2 games left. You got Chicago on Tuesday, and then the season finale against Anaheim on Thursday. And overall, it's going to be interesting to see what those last 2 games become. We're going to be there. All right, Vegas Hockey Hub. We will be at those 2 games. And it's going to be exciting to see what happens between the Vegas Golden Knights and 2 teams that are out of the playoffs and 2 teams that are kind of trying to rebuild and look forward to the draft in a few months. So, your player of the game, and I kind of unveiled this earlier in the show, but your player of the game was the guy who kicked off the goal scoring. This is somebody who, in this game tonight, had one heck of a performance. He not only had 1 goal, but he had blocked shots, he had multiple hits, he had multiple takeaways. Ivan Barbashev as your player of the game against the Colorado Avalanche. And I really like what we saw from Ivan Barbashev in this performance against Colorado. So he deserves your player of the game. And just like that, that is your game recap between Colorado and Vegas. And until next time, continue watching hockey, go support junior hockey, and go Knights, go.